Welcome. Today we're going to take a look at Katherine Bigelow's 1990 action thriller Blue Steel, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, Ron Silva, Clancy Brown, and a brief appearance by Tom Sizemore. So come along on this journey as we explore the locations of this underrated early 90s cult classic on this episode of Where'd They Film That? Blue Steel is a 1990 action suspense film directed by Katherine Bigelow, who prior to this film directed the 1987 cult classic Near Dark. The film Blue Steel centers around rookie cop Megan Turner, who on the first night on patrol, she encounters a robbery in progress at a local supermarket. She tries to break it up, but ultimately shoots and kills the robber. After an investigation in the shooting, Megan is suspended. It's around this time she ends up meeting commodities trader Eugene Hunt, and their short-lived romance begins. As their romance is blossoming, a series of murders are happening around the city, where the killer is leaving little notes for Officer Turner, which causes her to get reinstated so she can help them figure out who's behind these killings. Megan and Eugene's romance comes to an end when Eugene reveals that he was at the supermarket the night Megan killed the robber, and he implies that not only does he have the robber's gun, but he also is the one that's behind the series of killings that have been going on in the city recently. This sets off a catch me if you can type game between Megan and Eugene for the remainder of the movie, culminating in a pretty entertaining and satisfying finale to the movie. Now let's go check out our first location. Our adventure begins today on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, New York, on York Avenue between East 86th and East 87th Street. On this block we'll be checking out Bagel Bob's on York and Gristides. Both locations had early scenes of the movie filmed there. How the scene unfolds is, while out on patrol, rookie officer Megan Turner and her partner decide to stop off at a local deli. While waiting for the coffees, Officer Turner stumbles onto a robbery happening at the supermarket across the street. After a moment of hesitation, she springs into action, ultimately stopping the robber, who is played by Tom Sizemore. I went into the store to try and match up the shots of the scene, but unfortunately the configuration of the store has changed over the years, making it pretty much impossible to match up the shots. Like a lot of the filming locations in Blue Steel, the information on where the scenes were filmed is pretty limited. But after doing a bit of digging, I'm pretty confident that these two locations were in fact in the film. We are now at 539 East 84th Street. This location served as the restaurant known as Le Boeuf à la Mode, the site of Megan and Eugene's first date. As you can see, this location has clearly been demolished and rebuilt, so I'm not sure if the exteriors or interiors or both were shot at this location. We are now at 1 East 62nd Street. This apartment building served as the home of Eugene Hunt and was shown in a few quick shots throughout the movie, but there is one scene where the apartment building was featured more heavily, and that was the stakeout scene. Hours later, Eugene emerges from the apartment and takes off down to the corner in the direction of Central Park. If you look at the building on Eugene's left, you'll notice there's 3 windows and then a door. That is this building right here on the corner. At the time I came to film at this location, I didn't realize that that scene took place on this corner. The scene continues on in Central Park where Detective Turner finally catches up with Eugene. She sees him on his hands and knees by a tree looking for where he hid his gun. Knowing that he's not in his right frame of mind, she tries to goad him into taking hers. After some tense moments, Detective Mann finally comes and breaks up the tension, and that causes Eugene to run away. I was able to match up where the scene was filmed because of the building that is behind Detective Turner. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find the tree where Eugene was hunting for his gun, but I do believe it was around this location where it was filmed. We are now at Central Park over by the Green Gap Arch. It's here where we see Detective Turner and Detective Mann in the car waiting to see if Eugene comes back to the area where they think he hid his gun. After a bit of conversation back and forth, they see some light coming from the area where they last seen Eugene. Thinking it's him, they're about to go out to investigate. At that point, Turner handcuffs Detective Mann's hand to the steering wheel and takes off to investigate. This allows Eugene to come out of hiding, and he slowly approaches a trapped Detective Mann. And right at that point, when Eugene's about to take a shot at Detective Mann, out of nowhere, Detective Turner comes out and fires a shot of her own towards Eugene. He returns with a shot fired in her direction before taking off back into the woods. Our final location brings us to the area of Lower Manhattan, particularly at William Street and the Wall Street train station. It's at this location where in the train station below there was a brief gunfight between Turner and Hunt before they decided to take it out to the street. As Detective Turner is coming up the stairs of the train station, she sees Eugene across the street and he takes a shot at her and he takes off down the block. They continue their gunfight down this block, almost as if they're playing a game of duck and shoot. They duck behind something and then stick their head up to shoot. After a pause in gunfight, Detective Turner makes her way to the corner, hides behind the wall of a building, and peeks her head out. And what she sees is a hot dog stand in the middle of the street coming down the block towards her. On the other side is Eugene using the hot dog stand as a shield. After more gunfire between Detective Turner and Eugene, a car interrupts them by turning the corner. Eugene then takes a shot at the car, causing it to stop dead in its tracks. It's at that point Detective Turner urges the people to get out of the car. She gets in and punches it and hits Eugene, but he still gets up. It's at that point she finally picks up a gun, and since he's close enough, she shoots at him and actually hits him. Which at this point I'm pretty surprised because the amount of bullets that she wasted, I think she might have to take another trip to the shooting range for a bit. Well, that's going to do it for us today. I hope you enjoyed coming along, checking out the filming locations to this early 90s classic. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. And I hope you join us on the next episode of Where'd They Film That?